Good evening, my esteemed watchers, and welcome to another episode of Poison Point. I'm your host, Neo, and it's a pleasure to see all these new faces in chat. Thank you all for stopping on in. Welcome on in. Is it Cozy? Hoaxy? I'm going to assume Cozy because X is it. Thank you, Weed Lord, for the follow. Ilaria, Axomarine, Rats, Demon, Sane Cisco, and Hale? I'm bad with names. I read things so literally, it's terrible. Very cozy. Welcome on in, Luminous. Buffy, of course, getting first at the table today. Yes, Hale like Hale. Perfect. Mimic you. I'm trying to go through and make sure that I get everyone. Hezi, the cartoonist. Silver's there. Sorry that you didn't get the message, Silver. Don't know why that happened. It's a bit strange lately. Twitch has been on the fritz, to be honest. And I believe that's everyone. How was everybody's weekend? It's been a bit of a rough one, at least for me, but when is a weekend not rough for myself? I always give myself way too much work to do. Yours was pretty good, I'm glad to hear it. Which hates people, this is true. I, as a connoisseur of purple, am very disappointed in my purple brethren. Well, specifically relative, I suppose, the great Twitch gods from above, but, you know, that's for something completely different. Weekend was alright, very good, it's been hot indeed. I have officially moved into a separate room so I can have the AC on full blast. I had a good weekend. I got to see the Barbie movie. Wonderful. I did see your image. I forgot to retweet it there, Ellie, but the two of you have such amazing art. It's absolutely wonderful. Yes, it has been... I woke up extremely early to head to a work meeting today. And with that came nearly like falling asleep at the wheel. I'm not used to it. I promise I'm safe. I should preface this by saying I'm perfectly safe. The safest driver that you could know. So, I probably, whatever. You can trust me. Hey, frogs can drive. Gay frogs can drive. And more importantly, trans gay purple dart frogs can drive. So, we're all good. My weekend was good. It's been hot, but you're in the Caribbean. So that's a year-round thing. That's fair. That's fair. Let me to grab all of my things here all popped up and nice. Welcome on in, Wispy. The frog transport. Look, I surprise everybody, even my partner, who is extremely adept at racing games, cannot fathom why I am able to drive like a maniac with just a keyboard. I drive better than most of my friends in a lot of these games, like Forza, for example. I did very well for just using a keyboard and no controller. I got a knack for it, I should say. Yes, welcome on in, Wispy. I am so happy that we have so many fresh, familiar faces, all the like, that I get to stare at. And, wow. I am a Mario Kart munchkin. I can't help it. Listen. There's just something about absolutely destroying all of my friends. I just can't help it. Look, I was raised on the streets of Cyberpunk 2077. My model's doing that thing. By the way, my phone, I found out it's not overheating. My phone's just dying when it tries to do that face tracking thing. So, yeah. I would raise you, PK, but I am currently on the kick. And if you don't know what the kick is, it's something that I get. Here, the setup, yes, it is. It is something that I get when I really love something. Specifically, Star Fox 64 has been my biggest fascination. I don't know what it is, but I woke up one morning and I told myself, I want to make Star Fox 64 content. So here I am, thinking about like 50 trillion Star Fox 64 plans. And I'm gonna make this into a short, but did you know that in Star Fox 64, even though it sounds like there's a lot of them, there are only 4 bioweapons in the game? And, well, a bioweapon in Star Fox is classified as something that was once animalistic or had like some flesh or matter and was enhanced by Andros. So the 4 of them are the I don't know their names, by the way. I was just gonna say I don't know the boss's names off the top of my head, but Aqua's Ocean, the little clam boss, the what was it? The guy in the sun. He's the demon-looking fella on the lava planet. And the third one, which surprised me, was Macbeth on Macbeth, the flying robot in the train. And which is weird because that does not look anything like a bioweapon. It looks like mechanical, but it is apparently it was a bio being, something. And then the fourth one, which is only speculation, but it is backed up by in-lore stuff, is Gorgon, which is the UFO that camouflages right before Venom. So, there you go. You've been, I'm stealing Yomi's bit before we even introduce her. Did you know that? And now you know. There you go. I've stolen it. I'm not a thief. I don't steal things. That's not my shtick, but I thought it'd be funny. Look, I want you to take a look down here, right below me. And if you're on mobile, I'm sorry if you can't see this. Villain should be somewhere right around there. That's me. I'm evil. I don't know. I'm the goofy one. You could love me. Look, let's stare at each other and we'll have a great time. I think that you and I will get along quite well.
Yes.
Okay, well now this is what I get. The only spammable redeem I have on my channel. Take it while you can. Being able to spam these headbats. Any points you get, there's a reason why they're 350. Wow, I think it's about time. I've done enough. I've raised my own bar. So, oh goodness, I skipped through my own video. We don't want any of that. Okay. Get that out of the way. Please don't tell me you died. Okay, I was so worried that the music killed itself. That would have been awful. I need music in the background at all times. Welcome on in, Soul. Thank you for stopping on by. Alright, I should be all prepared here. I went to the wrong scene. This is what I like to call scuff. It's one of my pastimes. I need to put it in the description somewhere. I will always mess up something. No intro goes untouched. So, without further ado, introducing our guest for this evening. It's none other. Oh goodness, I did the wrong one. It is none other than Yomi.
Hello, everybody. Assistants and frog villain assistants as well, do I say?
Well, sure. I'll be the frog villain assistant for today.
Excellent. I see so many new faces of among you. Well, new for me among seeing like a chance to meet your community and having some of mine here as well. It's just juggles. I'm really excited.
Yeah, the meshing of the two. We have so many colors in chat today. It makes me very happy to see. I have a lot of purples, so.
Yes. I'm a little concerned. Thank you for the headbats. I will say I'm a little concerned because poisons. I do have curatives, but I'd rather hopefully not have to test that.
Well, I will say, and you don't remember this, but it was in the contract to, take a little bit of my poison. So you have been injected, and thus subjected to the fact that, you gotta tell the truth to me today.
Yeah, yes, this is true. I'm actually not a stranger to having to do certain things to myself before I mass produce, of course, of course. I did feel a little woozy when you did, though. I'm very curious what happened inside there.
Listen, the power of poison dart frog compels you, so.
I see. I'll make sure to keep a colorful eye on you, then.
Oh, what? A little of me, I'm totally fine. By the
I
way,
hope so. Well, from everything I've seen from others, I'm sure I can trust. I hope.
Hopefully. Well, I think that I'm trustworthy, so it's up to everybody else to say, well, yes, of course she is, and you better not say otherwise. I will be very upset with you.
Oh, I see what's going on over there.
Well, I will say, really fast chat, I had issues last stream, and I was unable to figure out what happened. But apparently, my microphone settings just deleted and exploded. Am I too loud? Is Yomi too quiet? Is the music barely audible?
Yes.
I'll speak up as well so you guys can make a comparison. Yes. Is our audio okay?
We got one good. I need at least 50.
Yay.
It's fine. Sounds all good. Both sound fine. No. Well, okay. It's all over. We're starting
sounds
the
like
stream.
We're doing very well over here.
We're starting the stream over from scratch.
No!
All right.
Not again!
Yeah, we'll be back. Okay, I'm just kidding. I can't help myself.
Oh my good golly gosh. Of course, of course. Now everything's cool over here. We're doing all right.
Yeah, we're doing just fine. All right.
Oh, I think we're bats.
69 audio is very nice. Thank you so much for the bit, Sane.
Sane!
Now, I will say,
welcome, Sane.
I don't actually have any bit alerts at all anymore because I decided to remove them for interview purposes. But I believe the bare minimum threshold was 100 because I had a chatter who spammed the text-to-speech with one bit.
Oh gosh,
it got unmanageable.
I'll make sure to learn that lesson.
Yeah, if you look in the chat, he's got like a metal name and has a sword and a first next to it. So
oh gosh, the sword to cut right in. I see. I'll have to keep that in mind. I just recently set up a TTS myself, and they're a little sussy, a little weird with it at times. I don't know what's gotten over everybody.
Listen, cooldown and boundaries. That's all you need.
Yeah, I guess the scientist is learning something today. Thank you.
Thank you, Luminous, for the 500. Now, I will say, for everybody who is new
my
here,
gosh, Luminous.
Since I am running an interview, and Yomi is my star for today. This is not Irisu Pison's channel. This is Yomi's channel. And there's the message from Nightbot. We might not get to everybody's chats. I do my best, but I can't interrupt the flow all the time. So I appreciate y'all's patience. And, well, without further ado, Yomi, are you ready?
I am, dear, but goodness, you're saying my channel shuckles. You don't have to go that far, but thank you.
Listen, if I could rebrand, every single time that I'm ready to bring a guest on, that is basically the whole goal of Poison Points.
I'll make sure to bring some blue dye for you next time.
Thank you. I'll get some of those contact lenses that allow me to get the is it sclera? Black sclera?
Yes, sclera.
I know science. This song is taking an intense drop in volume. Okay. Perfect.
Volume control. We'll never have a chance to fully understand it.
Never. All right. Last week, I interviewed a wonderful little guest by the name of Lawler Hicks. And, Lawler had a question that he wanted to pass on forward to you. So,
Well, color me curious.
Yes, this one is a bit of a doozy, I will warn you.
Certainly.
How have you most positively affected your audience? And this can be even if it was just to a single person, or people in general?
Ooh, that is a lovely question. And one of the main reasons I love that so much is because positivity is one of our main motivations. I always like to say love, laugh, and learn. And generally, my whole goal is to try to make sure people have a better day when they leave my stream. No matter how sad you come when you leave, I want you to be, or when you arrive, I want you to leave feeling even if it's just 1% better. And then I did my job. I think some of the most memorable I could say is I have one. Well, I remember all my viewers, but I think one of the most impactful I had as of recently was there was somebody in my stream who had said that they never really felt like they had a place they belonged, and they were unsure of themselves. I'm not gonna name drop, but I'm pretty sure this person knows who they are. And after they had like followed and stuck around, I started seeing them in all of my mutuals and all of my friends. And they said, because I trusted what Yomi's, like taste in people and stuff were. And we had a brief talk like after the stream. And they said more or less, like, I don't know what I would be doing if I didn't find the positive community that was built. Not just me, because it's the community that's a reflection of the streamer. And I think that was one that really struck me tight. Next to the fact that someone came in and went along saying how their dog had passed away, and they weren't joking. It actually genuinely happened. So we changed the mood, changed the music, and we kind of had the stream be about them for 10 minutes. And we talked and tried to comfort them. And that's actually not just the first time that's happened. We kind of do that quite more than you might think. It's just like how you say, this is my show today. My chat sessions, the first hour when we really talk, and sometimes even when gaming, it's not just about me. It's often they come and have their own stuff, and we talk it out. So I feel pretty confident in saying those are the most uplifting moments. Those are the times I really feel like the community or like a particular person or a memorable moment that's uplifted the community could really be said. Among a time, it doesn't. I mean, even movie night yesterday, we were all crying.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I know I certainly was.
What movie were you watching?
Oh, we watched Treasure Planet.
Yes.
It was my first time. We go through suggestions, and right now we're on a Disney kick, and kind of ended up realizing I'm sort of lacking on a childhood because there are so many Disney movies I have not seen. but
I see.
But we rent it legally,
Mm-hmm.
and view it all together.
I see. Well, thank you for sharing that with me. It is very, very hard to remember this, but there is always somebody else other than you. And to think about that consciously means that you can act a little bit more selflessly. I do not remember the name of this man off the top of my head, but he did a college speech, and he titled it, "This is Water." And the main part of the speech is that we all swim around in the bowl. We all share the same space. Somebody else could be having a terrible day, and you don't know it. So why approach somebody with a poor attitude when you could just be generally more kind and hopefully uplift them? And at the end of the day, if you didn't, well, at least you tried,
Yes. Oh gosh, I 100% agree. It takes more. It takes a lot more effort to be mad than it is to be kind. I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what, Chris? There's one of the lovelies now.
Welcome on in, Chris.
Yeah, it's. I actually got brought to a bit of a teary moment also yesterday where a fellow streamer said that they would have stopped streaming had they not met me, and that's the one that really gets me. My friend Hazy, which they're streaming right now, and I'm very proud of them. But I just want to do, just like you said, I just want to uplift people, provide motivation. There are so many people who do streaming to find a escape from this cold world. And the last thing we need to do is make our streams be equally cold. We are here to provide a healthy escape, but not a unhealthy far outside the box. We're here to just give you a good time. And at the end of the day, that's what I want to do. And you know what I mean. Get your head out of the gutter when I say a good time.
Well.
That's like...
Look, I'm just gonna say I'm immune since the EO stream, so
Oh gosh. I
So-
may be a 13 plus streamer, but outside of here, I'm more than happy to be an adult.
100%. Freedom, as it were.
Exactly. Oh, you're making a giggling goober. But anyway.
Good. That means that the poison is working.
That's what that was!
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that... I think some of that spilled on a certain ooze, and that's why the TTS was acting so sussy.
Now, I will say, if you haven't had the chance, and this is for everybody in chat, look up This Is Water. It sounds like a silly thing. It is a comedically driven speech, but it is incredibly impactful. A basis for like what I like to call my 3 comments: common courtesy, common sense, and just being commonly kind, I guess.
Well, I just added that to a tab that I will be watching after this, because
Perfect.
that sounds like my kind of jam.
Perfect. You better talk to me about it, because I love that video.
Okay, absolutely. I genuinely try to make friends with people after stuff like this. Like, for instance, Isane, it was part of a collab with them. It was an interview too, and it's not just like, oh, we interviewed, bye. It's like, no, you shuckle and huckle bet. I'm going to be checking up on you later.
Of course. All right. Now it's time to ask you the deeper questions. The behind the mask questions. I don't know where my arm was going there. So, Yomi.
Put the hat away and I'll focus.
Why did you become a VTuber? How did you get from where you were before this to where you are now, where we see you today?
That is a bold question, where no person has gone before. No, wait. Well, honestly, I have been VTubing only since the end of April. I debuted in the middle of May, but I did my first stream at the end of April. But I didn't come to the decision on April. I came to the decision in January of this year. So I had 4 months to get my head in the game. And the real big motivating force was because I felt cornered. I still have the personality that I have now, as I did back then, but that happiness and that drive I really tried to give out there was in a lot of dead ends. I wasn't happy where I was financially. I wasn't happy where I was physically. I wasn't happy with the people I was around. I even had a lot of people who originally shunned the idea of me doing this, because Yomi wasn't made for VTubing. Yomi was made in 2017, my main OC among many. And some people who I thought were close friends, over time, I realized were talking behind my back, and they nearly gaslit me into deleting all of my creative stuff. I was 2 clicks away from deleting Yomi, and much more. And I began to finally realize that I need to stop trying to appease other people in hopes that they'll like me, and I needed to start doing something for myself. And the closest that I had to that was when I hosted tabletop sessions. I love D&D. And when I say D&D, I actually play Pathfinder. Just not many people know that D&D is just one of over 1,000 systems. So I have a creative drive. I have a creative passion. But that creativity, as much as I love doing D&D, it wasn't going to get me anywhere unless I started streaming it. And then it all started to fall together. I felt like I didn't have anywhere left to go, and I realized, wait, I am pretty creative. I know people have made fun of my voice before, but sod it. I'm not going to listen to them anymore. I guess the best way to put it is I finally had the courage to believe in myself. And so, in order to find that happiness and to feel like I can make a difference to other people and have my voice be heard, I studied like crazy. I spent almost 4 months studying, watching videos, hanging out on other VTubers' channels, and not for networking, but to just generally watch and enjoy and make friends out of there. And I even worked a lot extra. I was working 60 hours a week to save up for a low budget model, assets and all that. It's why my things look as decent as they are for only VTubing for 2 months. And then I did it. And here we are a few months in, and I gotta be honest, I didn't expect to be going as fast as I had. Still kind of feels unreal. But the fact that I have so many people being able to hear the voice that I have and to know everyone leaves with a better day and I can inspire people. Yeah, I think I'm even realizing that's the real reason I wanted to do it. I did it at first to find happiness for myself, and now I'm able to spread that happiness to others. Because at the end of the day, you need to love yourself before you can show that love to other people.
Amen. That's all I can say to that. I mean, I think that you've earned every single moment, every single thing that you've gotten. You've earned it. A lot of people don't really understand how much work goes into creating these things. Not even from like a physical, like out of your job. There's a lot of mental prep. There's a lot of what am I going to do? How am I going to accomplish this? And for some people, that takes years. For others, that's something that we figure out within 3 months, and then we forget. Like, genuinely, it happened to me. I feel like I lost sight of my goals, and it took me a long time to get back. Well, here I am now.
Oh my goodness. Also, hi, Cheshire.
Hello, Cheshire.
I did say there was a certain person I was referring to in that earlier story, and
yeah, we're gossiping.
Oh, I'll just say it. Cheshire was a very big, was one of those big, impactful people that I said that I realized I am making a difference. And that can be said about a lot of people, honestly. Here. Oh no. Oh yes.
Sorry, I have to make it out to be much worse than it is. Remember, look down there. You'll see the villain. I've been classified by one of my friends as the shitter.
Oh, trust me, I can have a lot of fun with that too. In fact, if you really want to, maybe I have a darker ego as well.
Yes, I love this. These are why I save my points.
Sometimes. Oh my goodness.
Also, Hushmano.
I'm really glad that you're able to... Ooh! I'm so glad that you're able to find your reason for being... I like to say, your reason for being, your reason for doing it as well. I'm kind of even curious what happened for you on that. Like, how you got back on your boundary with that. Or on your footing, I should say.
It was rough. Sometimes I go on these little things like stints, as you would call them. And one of my stints had me laying down on my floor, crying. And I went through, I have very, very vivid dreams. So I passed out crying, and I had a dream. And in my dream, I was given the choice to go back in time and redo everything. And, with the knowledge I have now. And I realized that I can't change the past. Like, I was sitting there, I was going through all the scenarios in my brain. Like, oh, now that I know this, I can avoid this heartache. But it hit me after a while that all of that heartache was what I needed to sit here today. And to make a positive difference for myself, it is honestly one cemented footstep at a time.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and here we are. Now I am the shitter. I own the title.
Honestly, that feeling is kind of. I guess that's something we kind of share. You know, we were in that little spiral. Cheshire. Oh my gosh.
Thank you, Cheshire.
uh, I, my little couple of sprinkles as a topping on that very sad ice cream. You know, sad. That's a phrase I just is just when you think you've lost everything, you still have your future.
This is true.
That's motivated me through a lot.
Yeah. So pardon me for dropping this YouTuber's name.
No.
There's a YouTuber who goes by the name of Tomato Anus. I know how it sounds. But he is a very prolific speedrun commentator. He goes through and he talks about speedrunning. And every video for the last 4 years, he has had the same message halfway through the video whenever there's a small pause when there's nothing going on. And his message to everybody is, there will always be a tomorrow, and your feelings will not always be the same.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
And
I love that to death, though now my Google search history is not going to like that. Just wondering why I have tomatoes and anus there. Thank you.
Listen, he's a great guy, genuinely. A dream guest on the show, if I could have him on.
Well, everybody, you know what you must do. Oh my goodness. We all need that sort of motivation. My gosh. My heart going all doki doki right now.
Over the tomato anus.
Yeah, bye.
All right. Yomi.
Oh, your laugh is infectious. Hello.
You said that you've had this character since 2017. So I take it that the name has been around for a very long time.
Yes.
Where did you come up with the name?
That's a fun question. Believe it or not, it's not that deep. So the thing is, and this is a to each and your own. I always like to remind people we're entitled to our opinions. People can have differing opinions and still be good friends. My opinion, strict opinion, is I'm not too fond of a name reflecting a character's profession or upbringing, because that just doesn't make sense in real life. Mm-hmm. You know, Jake the farmer isn't going to have the last name Hoe because he uses a hoe all the time. It just doesn't make sense. You're not born into that. In fact, if anything, that kind of feels wrong because it reminds someone that you're born into this sort of thing. It's like that doesn't feel right. Do you catch what I'm saying with that?
Mm-hmm. I feel you there.
Yeah, and like I said, if that's how you do like to write your character names, go for it. It's not the wrong answer. That's just for me. I'm just not a big fan. So, I wasn't going to have a name that was like related to ice and science in my two things, or witchcraft. So the name of Yomi, it was one that I fell in love with while I was looking through a lot of names in relation to characters in manga. And I got into manga from, this is actually not even really a manga, but it was one of my first books outside of Chrono Crusade, was Mega Tokyo. And they had a brief, small, minor NPC named Yomi in it, and I was like, wait a second, that's a really cool name. And then I saw that name pop up again in Azumanga Daioh, this character named Yomiko. Mm-hmm. And I was like, Yomi just sounds really nice. And also, as I now these days say, yo, like yo, hi, what's up? And me, like me, myself, and now you. And Quinnley is also actually pretty minor, pretty silly how this is gonna come. Is I have a fascination for characters. I will see a character and get into an entire series just for one character, which is not always the best way for my budget. But Quinn, like Harley Quinn. Mm-hmm. I know, it's so silly, but I just like, but I just liked the way that name was. And a lot of times I notice female names do, a lot of the times when they have a Y at the end or an LY, it's got a nice little ring to it as well. So I know it's not that deep, but it really was just I liked the way, Quinn with a Lee at the end sounded, so yeah, I guess a little bit of Harley Quinn, a little bit of Azumanga Daioh and Mega Tokyo. That's a combination I don't think everyone have heard of. Yeah, it's maybe underwhelming, but at the same time, it shows where my interests are. And a name can sound good, a name can sound great, even without really being pulled from a name guide or, again, the name must equal roots or their history or something like that. Unless there's like some actual predestined thing that's a part of the lore of a thing. It could just sound, hi Black Cat! It could just sound really nice like that if you string it along. In fact, if you mind me adding, this is just a quick tiny thing. If you're naming NPCs for a campaign or a story, sometimes it's just good to go like making little noises and just kind of seeing what fits. Like I'll just go like Alouettes, Let's or Alouettes. Ooh, that sounds nice. And suddenly I have a character named Alouettes Bartholomew. That actually sounds like a good name for some random NPC, and I just did it by making up sounds just now.
Yeah, I see where you're going with that. I heard I heard bird.
Yeah. Yeah, you can say bird, so it could be like, Alouette's Birdarity or something like that. It's like, okay, just make sounds. Sometimes you can get a really good name that way. It sounds silly, but the creative process at times can often be finding shortcuts.
Oh, yes.
Without losing integrity.
You're gonna love how I came up with my name.
I'm actually very curious, because it, too, is like, it's not what you would expect for a frog. Good. So, I don't. My
name has a very deep.
Go on.
It's
how deep
embarrassing.
Does this pond go?
It's a little embarrassing. But this was when I was making my fateful decision to transition into my new way of life. I was playing this game called Arknights, and they had just released a character named Iris, and I was like, oh my god, why? Like, I started dreaming about this name. I thought about it every day. I thought about it every night. And when I finally made my decision, I was like, okay, I think I'm going to go with Iris for a name. This is just for myself and my IRL. And then the VTubing part came later, and I couldn't come up with a very clever name. So I was like, what sounds Japanesey? Putting like an ooh at the end of things. So Irisu. And then Aisen is just senpai, but the phonetics reversed.
Oh, I didn't even realize that! Yeah!
It is a term of endearment for people who are, the kohais to senpais, where they like to make fun of their senpais. So they will reverse it and say paisen.
Thank you for the headbats.
Thank you for the headbats.
I love that. By the way, Magellan and Asbestos, best girls. In fact, I almost in redesigning, I almost made my tongue blue. Oh, geez, it's purple, but I almost made it blue because I really love the character Asbestos.
Yes, I love Asbestos as well. For those with no context, that sounds really weird.
Clip it! Make that a sound redeem.
It's just the way that happens. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Just a few interviews ago, I said that picking your favorite anime is like killing children. And of course, what did they clip out of everything in that whole context? It was the killing children part. So
oh, no. I'm sorry, but I'm not.
Oh my gosh! I freaking love lung sickness. Yeah, me too.
I really think though that's a great way to go, because if you just have a name like that's not attached too deeply to anything, you can't go wrong. It's just like if you get a tattoo of something you really like, and then 10 years later you find out that thing you liked actually is absolutely terrible, and the person behind it's like, what if you did that with a name? Like what if your name was after something that was like, oh, I got this from this series, and then like so. It's really good to just try not to have too many strings attached.
Mm-hmm. Mhm. At least Arknights is okay, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's all right.
I was more of a Fate Grand Order player. I put that down for now. But I've always respected Arknights. I've never was like, ooh, that game. I was like, ooh, that game. I just don't have the time.
Yeah, it is a big time sink. Thankfully, all it requires is like 2 button presses, and you're autoing through every single mission, and you don't got to worry too much about it. After you've beaten it, of course, it's not that easy. But
two button presses, so about as interactivity as a visual novel. But I'm kidding. I love visual novels. Make fun of the things you love.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that, actually.
Yeah.
Look, nobody will ever know, except for those that do know, that I am a big tank nerd. I love World War II tanks, and people make fun of me for that. And I am people, so.
Well, no one will know, so I'm not here.
Exactly. Where did Yomi go? I don't know who this person is.
Tank nerd though, go off, girl.
Listen, I have actually a stream that's going to be dedicated next month to tanks. So.
Oh, I might have to check that out. That sounds really, really cool. Okay, yeah, I'm actually quite interested. I'll keep an eye on that.
Perfect. Thank you. Now,
I'm gonna make myself a little cozy if you don't mind.
Oh yes. Here, let me get you a blanket. Actually,
I got one.
Oh, you do have the blanket. I also have my silly little blanket. I always love this little thing.
It is nice. Oh, I'm sorry. Mind the slight noise overhead. Okay, there we go. I think it's about gone.
The planes are coming.
Minor sort of thing. Yeah, I have to be very careful when I'm riding my broomstick at certain hours. I've nearly crashed it into things.
Are you interviewing and driving right now?
No! No! As far as you know.
Did we hear a move out of the way, asshole?
Oh, shit! Oh, gosh.
Now, you have Yomi. It came from a multitude of places. But where did you come up with the concept, as far as art-wise, for your character?
Ooh, okay. This is also a sort of stitched together hodgepodge, if you will. So, my dear friend, very dear friend, who is also going to be debuting sometime soon. We don't have a date, but they are looking into getting into VTubing as well. I've been helping them out. My friend Helm Chan, who I've known for over a decade, we actually do art together. So they do the design and the flats, and they send that to me, and I will do the shading and the detailing. And we've been doing this for a long time. Now, as someone who then thus knows me very well, they're like basically a sibling to me because we've known each other all over 10 years now. We talk almost every day. They also know what I like, and they know that I have a love for science and lab coats. They know that I love like the twin braids. They know that I like glasses characters. They knew that I like demon girls and sharp teeth, and they know blue's my favorite color. Fun fact, this original design had a maid top beneath the lab coat, so figure that one out. And the whole design was quite literally a, insert a real name here, hodgepodge of what, I liked. And it was like, Yomi, I know you like this, I know you like that, so I made you what is to be called, dun dun dun, the ultimate waifu. According to Yomi's tastes. And I'm not gonna lie, it really worked. And what came as a gift, because actually, it wasn't a birthday present per se, but it was just like a kind gift. And said gift given was just like, wait a second. I love this design so much, I want to make this a full thing. And I did. I not only shaded it and went with it, I redesigned, we dropped the maid thing, and like I made the sleeves longer, so it can kind of like be a little dangly, and added some like a bunch of touch-ups over the years. In fact, the design from 2017 to the most recent tweaks, which was 2021, they're not that different. So, there's a lot of consistency. And I think that's important too, is it's not like a year later I'm going to be like, oh, well, I'm going to be Redskin now with long hair and RR energy. It's like, no, this is the same character since 2017, just minor tweaks. And that's how it all came, a Frankensteinian ultimate waifu drawing.
I love that, though. That's like the best. It has every feature that you love.
Yeah, because if you're gonna be, here's my little take. If you're gonna VTube, obviously you should like your model, and I always say you should be your biggest fan, because you will do the most for your character. Which in my case, I commission art, I get a lot of the all my alerts, the way I build the layouts. I'm not just doing it for myself, like for building up and everything, but I'm also like, hey, it's like what a fan would do for this character. And yeah, like your design, like what you make, and you're gonna start doing a lot more things. Don't come up with a design specifically for VTubing. You use a design you've already really liked, or if you want to come up with a design for VTubing, make sure it's based off of a hodgepodge of designs you've loved for a long time. Because then you're gonna continue to love it for a long time. It's like if you're getting a tattoo, think about that tattoo idea for a couple years before you get it. If you still like it after a couple years, then you're golden.
And if you're in my case, you start dating the artist that made your model.
No way! Aw, bless! Oh, that's so cool! I'm proud of that.
Yeah. I sat in for pretty much 80% of the creation of what you see today, and when I was finally able to get it to move, and I was able to glow in the dark, as it were, I was so happy that I finally felt like myself. So
I always love when you do that.
Well, good. And I know that you do love lab coats. Now, I don't have a lab coat for my model, but there is going to be a special little thing coming soon. Can't drop more or my partner will kill me. But it is lab coat related, so.
Ooh, yes. Oh, I'm looking forward to that. Oh, I'm excited for that. It's gonna turn out amazing. I can already because you put in so much love with all this sort of stuff, and
oh yes,
yeah. With
This-
that added on top of it, it's not just strapping on; it's something else.
This brain thinks about everything all at the same time. A little mentally deranged, as it were.
Aren't we a little bit?
just a tad.
I mean, nobody who decides to sit behind an image that is not themselves is completely perfectly mentally well. Which is not a jab at all. It's not a jab at all.
Not at all.
I forget where I heard this, but it's like
it's perfect.
The person who aspires to be an anime waifu is the person who's probably got a few screws loose out there. But at the same time, with the world that we live in right now, we're kind of some of the most sane people out there, because we're also some of the most inclusive people. We're also some of the individuals who hear from, so many sides of the spectrum, whether it be from your viewers or other VTubers, where we have our finger on the pulse of communities as compared to, the people who actually are in charge of things. And it's why I believe folks who are in the VTubing or streaming sphere as they are, we actually have a really strong connection to how things are going on around us. At least most of us are. The people who are genuinely having a passion about it. Because there are some people who just VTube because it's the flavor of the year or something like that. And we can smell that shit a mile away.
Oh, we'll know.
Potface, you just swore. Oh no.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, it's fine here. This space, no authorities can reach us because, oh wait, that's part of the lore. I can't actually. Not yet, at least.
Hail! We know.
So, I My brain just, oh my god, it hit a brick wall. So my apologies.
It is okay. While you're readjusting that, I will say thank you to my mods for being here as well. Hail Mamori, GD, Chris, and Hezi the Cartoonist, those 3 are my mods, and I'm very thankful that all 3 of them showed up today. Thank you so much. And I'm thankful for not just them, but all of my viewers who are here, because they're very important to me, and I make sure they know that in the Discord when we have our lovely talks as well, because all of them, oh, thank you, dears. It's the world.
Of course. And if my hand tracking was much better, I would be doing the heart. But unfortunately, this is the best you got. So
you're squeezing pistachios.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I can also like wring your neck out. It's fine. It's the same thing. Yeah.
Joke's on you. I'm into that. I mean, what?
That's okay. That didn't get picked up by the microphone.
Oh, good. Now people don't have to know that Yomi is a massive masochist. Wait.
Well, now you've just admitted it. I can't cover for you.
Yeah, they kind of already know that about me. It slips out once in a while.
I haven't used this emote in so long. Love this one.
What? I do it. See? Self-report. Gosh.
Yeah, today we've learned on the Poison Point stream. The truth has come out.
Great. Okay. Yep, that's fine. I mean, with half of my redeems being exploding potions, or shocking potions, or maybe getting thrown out of a window, or all sorts of other sort of stuff that are throwing assistance at me, hitting me in the head with a butt. Oh, thank you. I think it's, yeah. I have a lot of fun making them, though.
Very cool. Yeah, you gotta have a penchant for it. Like, that's the thing. Like, if you don't, then what's the point? Chat's gotta bully you just a little.
Yes. Yeah, be yourself.
Exactly. Now, I always like to ask this question, and we can bring it in if you want, really low, if you don't want anybody to hear this, but is there anything that you've been working on that you might be willing to share with us today? If not, that's totally fine. Like, I always ask this question. Sometimes people don't have something, or sometimes I learned something that like nobody has ever seen, and it's the first time on this show. So,
a bit of a you heard it here.
Yes.
There are 2 in the works right now. Well, actually 3. Yeah, and I don't mind saying all 3. So, the first is I am currently doing a Pokemon Nuzlocke where I am modded in the game. And I had a starting art, where it was me with a single Pokeball and my starter. I actually have plans for artwork for specific points. So when my starter evolves, there is special artwork that will be shown mid-stream of me hugging the evolved Pokemon, or when we hit our first death of a Pokemon, there's going to be a picture of me crying at a gravestone, or when we sneak into Team Rocket's hideout, there's going to be art for me in a Team Rocket uniform with my starter having like a Team Rocket hat on as well. So that's one thing. The second is we have a temporary model. It was a free model, a blob model for the TTS bot, because I wanted to test out a live 2D for a TTS, and we got it working. But I am having currently worked on a full custom one that looks like my assistants.
Yes.
And anyone, I'll actually even just type in the chat with it right now. The little minion there, little winged fellow with the wings, little imp with the swirly glasses. That's being worked on, full live 2D. And finally, probably, hopefully, maybe even ready by tomorrow for next stream, a chibi model.
Yes.
I got a full chibi coming.
Yes. Ah! I'm so excited
for it.
I love the little chibis.
Yes. I'm a bargain hunter. Everybody knows in my community that Yomi is poor. I've grown up that way. But the reason I'm able to get these is I bargain hunt. like I've seen chibi models, they go for hundreds of dollars, usually like 300 to 400. I have connections on Fiverr because I've worked in it for a while, and I'm getting this chibi model made and rigged for like $70.
Ooh.
So it may not be like top-notch quality, but it's still pretty good and gets the job done. And, you know, maybe a year from now when I actually am no longer saying that I'm broke and I actually have a nice pot of money, where I'm just not even pot of money, but like, I'm living within my means, which, let's face it, since I'm so used to living within very minor means, it's not really, not much is going to change from there. So very quickly I have money I can spend on stuff. I'm going to eventually update, like, you know, model and all those other things. So right now it's just all get the foundation, you know, get the things at a good budget. And then, you know, if things go well where I can actually live comfortably, I can start upgrading some things. But yeah, those are the 3.
Very, very excited. I cannot wait to see this chibi model. Yes.
Ow!
And you said for tomorrow, yes?
It should be by tomorrow.
Okay.
The thing with Fiverr, which is this is why I love Fiverr so much, is it's all contractual. If there's issues, they have to edit it, and there's good communication. I always look for an artist who is friendly and I can communicate with. So if this artist it sends me it and like there's something wrong, I will just say like, hey, you know, you're doing your best here. It looks really good, except for this. And because of time zones, that might take a whole day to change because, you know, I actually think they are like 12 hours apart from me. So, but if everything's right on the first go, which probably will be because they have been sending me updates every like limb every other day.
Oh, you mentioned that you have an image to send, or
I could. You know what? Yeah, should we? Yeah. You know what? Oh, I see the grabby hands. I see your grabby hands. Give it, give it, give it,
yes.
give it, and give in.
Yes. This is my power.
Your power has bequeathed. But yeah, there you are. And oh no!
You vanished.
What happened? I am dead. What happened?
I don't think that's on my end.
It's okay. It's okay. Give me 2 shakes and a bake here. I don't. I think Steam is just immediately doing an update right now.
So is it update time? Yeah.
It might be. Give me just a second. I might be able to.
It was the invisibility
get
potion.
It back up. It is the invisibility potion, but you can bring that up as well with it all. Yeah.
This is a distraction. Yomi is actually hiding behind this, so.
Yes.
This is very cute. I love
Another reopen. Yeah, it's gonna be fully rigged. I'm reopening VTube Studio. It seems to just lost a connection, so I'm just reopening, and we'll reset the collab button. Connection to Steam servers failed. Make sure you're running it through Steam. But I am. That's okay. I'll just reopen it. Yeah, it costed. It did cost like in total. I said not a whole lot. The whole thing, rigging and all, just like 65. Well, not plus taxes and stuff. So about like 70. Oh, and I got a few toggles, so it's actually like 75. But at that point, who's really counting?
Yeah, it is a good steal. This is a great steal. Here, allow me to check my Steam. It seems to be running fine on my end. I'll close out the VTube Studios and see if we can't fix this really fast.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I don't know why it's suddenly decided to work. Won't take too long. Worst comes to worst, maybe a quick breaky. If not, that's okay. I'm just resetting my Steam and stuff. Thank you, folks. So apologies.
Nobody sees this model on the screen. It's not important. Nobody sees this model. This is something I was testing. Not any spoilers or anything. I wanted to try out that Amori model that that one person made, and I couldn't figure it out for some reason. My brain was too dumb that day, I suppose. So, you know what? I'm actually going
I'll have to look into that. So I'm just restarting my Steam, and once I restart that, we should be groovy.
You will act as the buffer. You will protect my information.
I do try to make sure everybody's safe. Absolutely. That's honestly one of the biggest things I try to make sure with my community too, is that they stay safe. Because being that I am a 13 plus streamer, connection to stream servers failed. Make sure you're running in through Steam. I am. What's going on? YouTube Studio is not connected to Steam right now for some reason.
It's also disconnecting me. So I think that we should take a really quick break while we figure out these issues. But
oh, if it's something new, then it probably is Steam.
It's the update for sure.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I do have a workaround.
Okay.
So, okay. So we're gonna take a really quick break. Yomi took the invisibility potion. She's lost somewhere in the room. Turns out that it makes everything else invisible for her as well. So
I'm trying to find her villainous plans. Don't tell anybody.
A what? Huh? But you can't do that while we're on the break screen. And we will be right back. Give us like
certainly
3-4 minutes, and we'll be good.
Alrighty, be right back.
And while Yomi's gone, hey, you'll be fine. You're good. You're good. Tell me something that you like about Yomi. Alright, everyone. We are back. Now, seemingly
Yes, we put
out
our
of
brains a bit.
random input, the chat has started talking about things that they like about you. So, Weedlord starts with, her content and overall personality is pleasant. Mono says, they're very energetic. I envy their bouncy personality.
Thank you.
Sane says Yomi is truly an overachiever and already an inspiration to many. Torin says, they provide such a loving and caring community. I adore all that they have done. And finally, PK says, I really like her design and personality and all the cool emotions she has on her model. Plus, anyone that likes a hat in time must have excellent taste.
I'm gonna have to shield myself from all this kindness for starters. No, but really, I'm still getting used to hearing these kind of things. If this is brought up as a question later, it is, but the TLDR super short summary, I grew up in a very toxic environment. I grew up without much love, and I've been able to, find that thanks to some close friends. I mentioned Helm Chan being one of them growing outside of, basically after college, high school kind of days. But I'm not used to being told these kind of things from, a few select, friends. And I'll be honest, after a lot of my streams, I do cry in joy, like the happy tears.
Yes.
And
Very good.
It's, oh gosh, you can hear it in my voice. I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry, but it's nice it can go both ways. I want to try to give as much love as I can, and I really appreciate that people can just be kind and give it back like that. It's not too hard. But for me, it always felt like it was hard because I didn't get it too much. So it's refreshing.
Yes, I can definitely feel you there.
It's already such a lovely community we have.
Well, I do have a very hard question. This is one of the hardest questions that I ever ask anybody. What does being Yomi mean to you?
Oh, well, and difficult as you may pose this question, my friend, I will say that I can answer it earnestly with my heart here. Because for me, it feels like I can finally be myself without being bogged down by a lot of what brought me to such a difficult state in my life. As the person behind the VTuber, I'm no longer sad. I can say that. I of course have my moments, but I feel like I feel like I'm more myself as Yomi than I am outside of this. And it's not to say I don't go outside or anything. Yomi touches grass every day. I had a nice dog earlier today. But, this is going to sound... no, maybe this isn't going to sound too weird. I'm very adept to masking in public. And for people who don't know what that is, it is when you have to put yourself into a specific persona or personality. It's not lying, it's more of conforming. Because a lot of society and places where I go to, I'm just a fish out of water. I just never felt comfortable. But as Yomi, I feel comfortable. I feel like I have still all of what makes me me, but I don't have to be restricted. Because unfortunately, in society right now, there's still a massive amount of restrictions. There's no guise, there's no deception. This is the most of, insert real name here, that I'll ever be. And I just now have a platform where I can show it without being judged or mistreated or, told very negative and hurtful things that are unwarranted. Or, of course, just, we all know the mentality of folks who don't even understand the internet, never mind streaming. In fact, I remember when I said to my landlord, last month, when I had to pay rent, and the landlord comes and picks up the rent in person, because they're that old-fashioned, they like money, not, credit. I said, "Oh, I'm actually going to be streaming during that time." And his first thing he said is, "Well, I don't give a shit about video games. Give me the money during then." I'm like, I never even said it was video games. I never even like it shows how little they know. And as Yomi, I don't feel like I have any of those restrictions of the outside world being that unlearned and misinterpretive and judgmental for the things that you like or just you being you. So Yomi's not a saying flesh feels weird, but Yomi is more me than insert real name here is me. I like saying it that way. It's funny.
Yeah, we definitely around here we don't like landlords parentheses derogatory.
Oh gosh. Never mind my roommates. They're also old fashioned.
Well, thank you for sharing that with me. It is
Of course. I hope it's something people can learn from.
It takes a lot of strength to admit that, well, this is where we escape to. For a lot of us, at the very least. Some of us, I know, it's just another thing that they do. But I'm in that boat of like, man, I work all day long. And when I finally get the chance to come home and put on this little bit of a quote-unquote facade, I feel alive. So
that's a great way to put it. You finally feel like you're more yourself as that. And it is a sad statement to say of where the world still is. We still have so much to be trying to work on and achieve. That's a whole nother topic we're not gonna only so much time on. But I hope other people who can start streaming or do streaming can find happiness, and if not be more of yourself, at least discover something about yourself. Because VTubing has also done that for me too. Helped me discover so many things about myself. And I felt more empowered now than I ever have before. I've made more friends now than I ever have before. It's honestly, the VTubing boom in the 2000s was one of the best things to happen. In 2020s, I should say, because it's opened up so many avenues. It's made it more popular, and unfortunately, there are bad eggs. Like I said, there are people who are going to hop onto it and do it and just do it for clout. But the people who genuinely are going to make it are the people who are genuinely doing this because it's what makes them happy. And you don't have to be successful to be happy doing it. I happen to be getting gradually more and more successful. I say gradually, actually very quickly. But even if I wasn't, even if I still just had like 5 viewers and wasn't going far, I'd still be happier doing it than anything else I was doing. I genuinely mean that.
Yeah, and honestly, real.
Real.
That's all I can say.
Real. You heard it here, folks.
Yes.
Real.
If I say it, that it is so. So there you go.
Oh gosh.
Well, while my cat walks in front of my webcam and ruins all of my facial tracking. Yomi.
Good night, Hezzy.
Yes, have a good night, Hezzy. Yomi, the main part of our interrogation can begin.
Oh, my interrogations. It was Mrs. White with a candlestick in the library.
Tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
Ooh. So, my quick question is, do we mean more of Yomi or the person behind Yomi?
Yomi.
Ah! Well, there is unfortunately a fair share of sadness that comes along to it. But at the end of the road comes happiness. I came from an orphanage. Almost home orphanage, as it was called, left at the doorstep. Unfortunately, being a tiefling, seeing the color of the skin, or the sharp teeth, and the devil's tail, and those devil eyes, as they called it, the kids at the orphanage were very rough. I will still remember one thing that was always said was, "Ew, they think it's human. It even cries like one when you hit it." But I did distract myself for cleaning up the orphanage lot and made sure to find outlets for myself. And I did get adopted eventually, though I was a teenager by then. Nobody really wanted the devil child. And, well, the sir who took me in donned me my first lab coat. And this individual didn't quite take me in for a daughter. They took me in for someone to inherit. He tried to pass his knowledge on to me, and the knowledge that was given was unkind. I still remember my first dissection. I still remember the feeling of this cold scalpel in my hand, or the subtle warmth that came from the flesh as I cut down, the hemathrine and crimson that oozed out, or the unsettling sight of organ within. It still haunts me. But we did this for a long while, and eventually, I snapped. Well, I wouldn't say snap per se. I had enough. I didn't want to suffer like that anymore. So, when that man was doing an experiment that I was resting during, I came up behind the man, took that very same scalpel I used on many subjects before, and shink. I ran after that, and I ran until my lungs burned, my heart wanted to give out, and I collapsed. When I woke up, I found myself somewhere else. I found myself in a bed with a few strangers surrounding, and they told me I was very unwell, that they found me on the very path I guess I had fallen unconscious in, and the village there took me in. And I learned about nature, I learned about mechanics, I learned sciences, but most importantly, I learned love. And I learned that there were people who weren't going to treat me for how I looked, or the fact that demon blood ran in my veins. I found people who didn't judge me for where I came from or who I was. And that very message is something that I've learned not only to live with in a positive way, but now that I have finally found that happiness in this village, I want to spread that happiness to others. And that same message, that it doesn't matter where you're from, it doesn't matter what you believe in, it doesn't matter what's in your blood or your orientation or anything. What matters is as long as there's kindness there. And that's the origin story of Yomi Quinnley.
Very good. And even though you've been through a lot, especially with the person who took you in, I take it that you also learned a lot from your time there.
I did. I learned the value of a life, that's for sure. I may have taken one, but that was only it. It was necessary. I learned a lot in the fields of science, biology particularly, and back at the village, I learned a lot more in herbalism, and that allowed me to work my sciences into more of a potion. And it's why, well, I'm not a mad scientist. I'm a glad scientist, and I try to make potions and curatives that can heal, that can offer assistance in certain ways. And yeah, we get a little wacky, like a invisibility potion, or I put the ones that were explosive away on the table that my assistants really like to use on me. There's a Disney adventurer who comes in saying that I'm about to face a monster who is weak to lightning. Make me a lightning potion. So yeah, I have some dangerous ones, but I only sell them to heroes with good intentions.
Do you happen to have the strongest potion? Or are they too weak for your strongest potion?
And what exactly do you, in your definition, my dear, have as your strongest potion?
So let's say, hypothetically, theoretically, purely, this is just a scenario, right? That I needed to quickly dissolve an entire body within seconds. Yeah. Is that something, theoretically, that could be done?
I have had made a potion before that can cause spontaneous cellular apoptosis, which, if you're not familiar with the form of apoptosis, it is the absolute quelling and quashing of the destruction of these cells to the point that it leaves no remaining trace behind. So, yes, I have made a cellular apoptosis potion. I've never had to use it. It is stored away, and I only have one of. I would sell if the buyer had a convincing reason. But I have had to backscreen people for some of the potions that they've given, and knowing that you're asking,
What, did they load me? There's nothing wrong with that. This was a hypothetical scenario. I could be using it for anything. You have no idea.
Hypothetical, yes. I suppose I'll have to do a background screening on you. It might take an hour or two. Oh, little swap of roles.
and wait, hold on, wait for it. And now you know. There we go.
Yes, and now you know. Oh, I was like, why'd you know that? Yes, because we have science facts in my streams. Which, fun fact, that line is from Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Yes, it has haunted me to this very day. Well, in a good way.
Yes, everybody remembers in school when the projector or the VCR and television was wielded on the cart in science class. Everyone knew it was going to be a good time.
Now, unfortunately, science was my weakest subject, so I did space out, except for the theme song of Bill Nye the Science Guy. Who could forget?
Unfortunately, I'm not one of those scientists who will be like, "Oh, you're an idiot. Oh, you don't know this." Like, yeah, I understand. Just as everybody should understand that we all have our specialties. We all have our weaknesses. You know, Yomi is not a tech wizard. I need a lot of help. So I'm not gonna. Don't bash me for that. You know, don't throw stones in a glass house. Which everybody should keep that in mind.
This is fair, unless you really want to destroy that house.
Okay, fair. This doesn't surprise me that you say that.
Now listen, I do come from a place that is not too far away from Night City in Cyberpunk, so if there are any questions you might have, I can definitely help with the tech side of things.
I have had to do a few deliveries into much more technologically advanced places, and I do seem to remember that there was a delivery for a certain Taka something in Night City. Unfortunately, my broomstick almost got shot down. Why didn't you know it?
Yeah, they do that from time to time.
Yeah. Now I put very high insurance claims on those deliveries.
Listen, I've had a castle crashed in that little bar room behind you, the club. It's okay, technically. My boss was the one piloting that castle, so I couldn't really do anything about it. She needed to show up for her interview one time, so.
Chat. Should I be concerned? Should I be scared? Is that what's going on here? Am I in danger? Is that what's going on?
No, it's okay. She aimed it well last time. Honestly, the window of her bedroom was right there behind you. She's a very good shot.
You know what? That's fine. I mean, from the amount of times that my assistants throw me out the window, or throw things at me, or blow me up, I don't think a castle crashing on me would do much damage anyway.
Yes, this is fair. You've built a tolerance to it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the way it should be.
The Castlevania itself shouldn't be any of an issue for you, then.
What is a man? Exactly. Lumen. I'm just looking at chat a little bit. Sorry, I'm not able to keep up with chat too much. Obviously, I'm paying attention to the questions.
We have your full attention.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, I mean, you bring attention. That actually brings up a statement I just thought, which there are people who say like, "Oh, I only have 5 viewers." That's a table. That's a table that you are narrating to. Oh, I only have 20 to 30 viewers. That's a classroom. Like people who look at those numbers, like think of it like in a real state. That's kind of where I'm at right now, where it's like, I don't let numbers get to my head, but you look at them, and when I see like I'm already averaging over 30, it's like that's a classroom. That is a whole. It boggles mind. So if you're at 5 or 10, remember like that is either like that's a table. That could be a whole cafeteria table if it's 10. Like that's a lot. imagine for 6 hours or 4 hours or however long you stream or 2 hours being the center of attention at a table like that for that long. It's an astounding thing and a lovely thing. So I don't know why I'm just going on this, but it's just a good way to let people know, like, hey, even like that number is still a lot if you really think about it.
Well, I could talk to the cool kids at the lunch table. Yeah, that's true. See, I don't know if anybody has noticed. Maybe people who have been around for a little bit. Definitely not this stream yet. But whenever I have a raid, my raid message coming on in is so-and-so is raiding with this amount of eyes. Because I like this concept of watching, it won't work on the screen, but I'm here. I need to get that set up. But I'm there. I
see you watching on a lot of folks' streams. I've been watching yours too.
That's why my eyes.
I'm gonna raid you at some point. I love them.
I have the distinct disadvantage of every other day except for this day. I have to stream way, way after everybody goes to bed. So.
That's true, Mrs. 4 a.m.
Well, okay. That is because I stay up way later than I stream. So.
Can we sponsor you an energy drink? Yeah, no, I getcha.
See, I'm
watching my sleep go all over.
I am the
Go ahead.
The early born. Oh my god, that's not a word. The early riser and the late stay upper. I'm the boat.
Sleep.
Mm-hmm. See, my real
message received. Have day.
My real life profession,
or don't,
is what was being a chef, and
really,
what that does to a motherfucker is you end up going from a standard 8 hours of sleep to about 6.
Wow, I guess so. Hi, Layshroom. Good to see you, my friend. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, and you mentioned earlier that you're not too skilled in science, but cooking is a science in itself. It's definitely something to be proud of. You're able to do.
Well, listen, baking.
Baking
is a science, but
that's true. I still wear my lab coat when I'm baking,
and I am not.
I don't wear an apron. I just wear a lab coat. I mentioned earlier a lot of VTubers that I met like along my way before I even started streaming that I became friends with. And I just want to like give a little shout out there, like Layshroom just showing up. That's a great example. Like in February and March, when I was just focusing on like my social medias and just growing and watching other VTubers who interested me, so I can learn from before I debuted. Layshroom, right there, that's one of them, and I'm very happy to have met them and have them in my life. Saint Cisco, same thing too. I there's a lot of folks here with it. I never like called it out until just right now, but I just figured I would, and it does a lot. It does a whole lot. And that's a whole nother subject we can go on to. But I don't want to ramble too much. We'll never get to the rest of your interrogation.
Well, listen, it is a small world out there. And, I have known Layshroom through other means. And Layshroom knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh. Oh, shuckles. I mean, whatever happens, I won't deny. I will say Layshroom is precious, absolutely. But oh goodness, Yomi is losing her her focus right now. You're in danger.
I do have a clip that is cursed. I should probably delete it, but I have refused to because it is too funny. I did a charity stream where I raised money, and I happened to raise at an exact perfect amount to do a thigh cam stream. And let's just say that I had a particular moment where I squeezed a bottle of lotion in between them. And I think that is the day that I captivated Layshroom's heart.
Oh my gosh. Something tells me my viewers are going to ask for that. Well, joke's on you. I'm a 13+ streamer for now. Oh gosh.
The AOs.
Hey, yeah.
Everybody wants
Oh. At the end of the day, like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with doing those kind of things. Like, if you're I like to say this, because being a 13 plus streamer, well, two things: being a 13 plus streamer and having the unfortunate moments where I might be in other people's streams and they will be like, "Ew, fan service. Ew, they're a YouTuber." This and that. I genuinely, and it hurts. It hurts hearing that. At the end of the day, like, if someone is doing something 18 plus and they're fully transparent about it and they're enjoying doing it, what's the harm?
Mhm.
That's if anything, it's a wonderful thing, because if we're too sanitized, then we're all going to be babies growing up. Like, yeah, do it. Go crazy with it. I might do a stream where it's an 18 plus stream. Not like catering or anything like that. Just like generally, maybe Yomi's gonna be like, oh fuck, shit, damn, crap. Maybe she's gonna go ham a little bit. Who knows? That was the most Sarahs I've ever said together in one sentence.
I like how you include crap along those.
Yeah, right? Everyone knows half the time I just say, fudge, and I still hit the censor button.
See, that's the editing trick. Those who don't know, you just say like the first part of the swear, and then whatever else comes after doesn't really matter.
Fudge sickles!
Fudge.
Yay! I could really go for one right now.
Fun fact.
Shuckles.
I used to be a like, I wouldn't necessarily call it 13 plus. I never swore ever. I had a vow of no swearing for 3 years.
Oh.
And
my goodness.
It was definitely difficult, but I pulled through. And whenever I would do a bit where I would swear, it would always be like, what the I would even like do the fuck. I would just go and then immediately hit the censor button. It was not believable in the slightest.
No, I understand. I still say the whole thing. Because here's the thing people need to remember too is I compare it to a Marvel movie. I compare it to PG-13 movies. There are swears occasionally. Not a lot, but there are a couple. There is, like, sexy characters. There are characters who are like a little fan service. That's normal. That's part of growing up. Part of why it's PG-13. Now, that's not to say, and of course, you have to be very careful of the line. There's all sorts of those gross stuff, like folks who will groom or just like pretend they're doing one thing. And it's like, ew, no. I genuinely do it because I used to work in education. I genuinely was a teacher for a short while. I taught special education. And nothing happened. I didn't stop because like I got fired or anything. No, I just genuinely stopped because I wasn't enjoying it anymore.
Yes.
And I was having far more satisfaction, freedom, and income from doing my potion deliveries. And I loved teaching, but when it was driving me to such a stressful moment and I wasn't making that much, I couldn't do it anymore. And it's because of that I actually feel like I can work in a 13 plus environment while still properly being an adult in either other people's streams or in just more adult chats and the likes. It's not that hard. It's just practice.
Oh yes, I could easily do it again, but I like what. Who cares? I'm gonna do it anyways.
Yeah, do you, Buckaboo?
And it does lead for some funny, wild moments.
It does. They went very silly with my TTS bot, for instance.
Oh yes.
And I love the heck out. I made the clips out of it. Do you, Buckaboo? Yeah. Because there was a monster in Final Fantasy XIV called Buckaboo, and that just stuck with me and a couple friends. So we say, "Yo, you do you, Buckaboo." I digress.
I see.
So, what other interrogations do you have for me, friend, or should I start pulling out the weapon myself?
Oh, I'm curious what you have as far as weaponry.
Okay, so it's not lethal, because that's not my jam. But I do I do make sure to carry a weapon if necessary on the broomstick. I am ready. It's steam powered. It's alchemical bullets, but generally I don't really have to use it that much.
Mm-hmm. Are you wanting to use it on me? Is that what you were insinuating there?
I wouldn't go frog hunting, because I mean, unless something did happen with all of this. But so far, you seem like a villain on the streets. But oh, I just realized where that analogy could go. Never mind. You're moving on.
Here, what? I'll finish it for you. It's a villain on the streets. Caro in the sheets.
Oh, I love that. That's precious. Get I mean, oh,
someday, Lay.
Wispy. Oh, goodness gracious.
So Silver, you didn't miss question time, but this is a good question, so we'll ask it now before they get
ask
lost.
Anything.
What your favorite class in TTRPGs are?
Tabletop RPGs. Ooh, so it's a bit of a long. I'm gonna try to answer this quickly because I don't know if I'm taking too long with all of our answers or not. I don't know how my pace is. If you're okay where it's at.
No, you are totally fine.
Okay. I like any class that has a lot of skills. So I will prefer being the rogue. I'll prefer being the investigator, the alchemist. I like to be the person who can roll the skills and says, I can do that, or I can help you accomplish that. My favorite class I ever played was actually very recently. It was the investigator. They are quite literally a skill monkey, but I made it into a healer. So this is Pathfinder, and I made a whole build around healing because I also love healing classes. I always end up playing the healing classes because I usually did I'll be the fill person. I'll be the fill girl. I'll do whatever, fill me up. I'll do what you need to do. And I just realized how that sounded. But I'll do that. And let me do skills and let me support the party. And there we go. So it's less of a single class and more of a niche of what I like to do. Skills and healing, supporting.
Very intriguing. I see. You are actually well, maybe not on the healing side, but you are a rogue after Silver's own heart, as his favorite class to play is rogue.
Yeah, I mean, like, you could play a rogue without actually doing a whole lot of damage. There are archetypes that make them more of like a thief, or a one who's really good with wands, like an eldritch wand user. Or just very focused on like one-shot assassinations, but kind of then what? You're there to help. At the end of the day, they still help the party a lot.
That's me, baby. I'm the one-shot assassin.
Let's go! Wait, I'm in danger. Send help.
Now, I have been wondering this for a very long time.
Please.
And
yes, I am Gargara.
Oh. Oh, okay, thank you for the free information.
Sorry, go ahead.
See, my question was actually revolving around your little assistants. How did you come across these assistants of yours?
Oh, it's actually kind of funny I mentioned Gargara. So, the reason being is with HoloLive, one of my big inspirations of doing this was HoloLive, and not just like, oh, I want to be the next of that. No, I want to stay indie. I want to do what I'm doing. But I liked HoloLive for their family friendliness, which is like me, 13 plus. In fact, they're a great example too, because they still drop a swear. They get a little yabai, but they're still family friendly. They have mascots, whether it be the Takadachis from Ina, whether it be the chickens for Kiara, the shrimps for Gura, and so on and so on and so on. So the idea of we should have a mascot. Obviously, that makes sense. And I didn't do that as a thing to fill myself in. I did that as that's a good idea. I like that idea. That's a big thing. I would just want to tell people that right off the bat. If you think so and so is doing this, I should do it too, and you're not enjoying doing it, then stop. So if I didn't like these assistants or I didn't like the idea of a mascot, I wouldn't have done it. I want to put that out there. The assistants themselves, they kind of just showed up one day. My friend Helm-chan helped to design them, just like how Helm-chan designed me. But they showed up one day. I think I'm starting to get a suspicion, because I went into the lab one day and I just saw one of them, and I didn't even see it at first. I just saw my hat moving, like it was just like on the table, and my hat was like moving. And then I picked my hat up, and there was one of them under there. They were naked, but there's no genitalia as far as I've done from dissecting. I mean, observing. And the thing is, they gave it a little coat. I gave it a little tie. They loved it. They gave it little glasses. They loved it. They started to just grab things around the lab. In fact, the one that grabbed my glasses, that was my old pair. I have a new one. They grabbed one of my old things. They just started mimicking me. And as they mimicked me more, I just realized, wait, they could actually be an assistant. And they were. They're the mischievous little son of a guns a lot of the times, but they do genuinely help a lot. But here's the weird thing. Another showed up. And then another did. And then another did. And before I know it, they're all over the lab now. And they still cause a lot of problems. But they are really cute, and they're equal, if not more helpful than they are problematic. So I keep them around. I don't see them eat anything. I don't see them even really need anything. They sleep. But the thing I'm beginning to wonder is I have some slimes moving around in the lab too. And they seem to resonate with the assistants. And I'm beginning to wonder if my assistants are actually a slime at first, and they gradually begin to congeal and form into what these little fellows are. So there could be something onto that, especially because one's talking a lot right now.
I see. I mean, how could you hate those cute little pinchable faces?
They are really cute, and the sounds they make, because they don't really talk. Slime is something that's talking, that's where I'm concerned. But they just make these really, really cute noises. They sound like they're from Fall Guys or something, little beans. I love them. They're very huggable too. They actually really are. They can be quite cuddly and kind, and when they're not causing stuff, like I said, they're very nice. And I've had woken up from bed a couple times and realized I was holding one like a plushie, and they liked it. So after that, I was sold.
There you go. Now, see, you put a very unique distinction on them, but it's not too far off to assume this. So, another crime lord that you may know of also has minions, and they show up in times of when they need to find the next greatest villain to serve. So, what you're telling me is that these assistants aren't too far off from minions.
So, everybody, we're wrapped up here. I'm leaving now. Thank you very much. I may be cringe and free, but there is a limit to cringe. Now, honestly, if you like minions, you do you. I've actually found minions to be kind of cute, but I totally understand how they gotten so corporate sanitized. Although, joke's on you. On April 1st, I'm gonna make a yellow version of all of them. Just because you did this now. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make them yellow. Just for one day. That's a great idea. I do want to do more redeems with them. And like I said, our TTS is gonna be one as well, but they're minions. I didn't even realize that.
I'm glad that you got a kick out of it.
Oh yeah.
So I never got to ask this question because I never equated it when I was interviewing my first ever guest. Her name was Benicula, the one who crashed the castle on top of my area here, space. She is the daughter of Dracula Tepish, and well,
Bowser.
We were curious. I believe one of my other friends asked the question, because they do serve the greatest villains in history, did they ever serve Benicula? Or perhaps Dracula? And Bonnie has confirmed that yes, at least to some capacity, they were there once. Before
Are
her
you
time.
saying my butt's in the chair of someone up that high of a degree? Oh my gosh.
Oh yes, but don't worry. I wash the chair every 10 guests.
Oh, good. I am a clean freak.
Now, unfortunately, though, the smell of vampire never leaves. So.
Okay, I will douse myself in holy water. I mean, I know a few vampiric folk who are pretty kind. I try to flock to folks who are, of a darker stereotypical creature, but are actually very sweet. Because, I'm half demon, so try to is the thing.
Bonnie
That's
is,
the problem.
she's a kind vampire. She only goes to town to raid them every once in a while and feast on their souls. Yeah, it's manageable.
I see. Cleaning my glasses really quickly. I don't condone that. But I mean, to each in their own. Hopefully I'm not in that city when that happens. Otherwise, we're going to have a problem, and I'm going to make sure that that gun has stakes loaded in instead. It's high pressurized.
We have begun the war.
For legal purposes, this is a joke. I will never hurt another VTuber.
Yeah, you're also sitting in the same seat as an eldritch god, who did at one point turn into a slime. That'd be Eldritch Grandpa.
Am I in danger?
I don't know if that washed out. Ooze of an eldritch being tends to be outside of the typical Clorox bleach product, so...
Fingule Magolfin Cthulhu Rayon Wagna Fatarigan. What happened? That was a thing that just occurred.
Oh, it's okay. Grandpa, completely harmless, unless you make him mad.
Yes, they are harmless. We are one. Okay, I'm okay. Oh, that happened.
Yeah. And everyone in chat likes to make fun of me, but I'm something of a deity myself. But we don't have to touch on that. That's not important.
Lies and slander. I have seen a lot of the guests that you have on here. When I can tune in, I first learned about you from ID 10, our tech gremlin, and yeah, I love the fact that you get guests like every couple of days. I love how much you're able to go. Words are hard all of a sudden. I really respect how many different individuals you can work with, cater towards. Shift too much, but shift just enough where they're comfortable too. And it's that's hard to do. What I saw with Biddles, how you had the black and white sort of thing, which, hi, Biddles. That was so cool. I love that kind of stuff. I mean, you've seen with my content, at least I think you have, how much I really try to make sure everything's catered and custom in those sort of ways. And it's just the sky's the limit. We're in a virtual world like this, so why limit yourself? So you're doing a very good job with all those sort of people like that. I really respect that.
Wow, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh yeah, I'm totally just buttering you up, so you actually give me the cure after all this is done.
Cure? Oh, I've never developed a cure.
Yes? Oh.
I don't know if you can see this.
Back to the lab very quickly after this.
I might be able to get close.
Hey!
Blocking my face tracking, but I got blood pumping through these veins. And this is the part I scratch you with, so.
Yeah, that felt kind of nice. I mean, dangerous. So I'll make sure I get a cure when this is formulated afterwards, right? Okay. Next question. No, I'm kidding. You take your time.
All right, I have one more question for you.
Please.
Well, I mean, it's not really the last question, but before we open it up to chat to ask questions,
of course.
There is power and strength in yearning for a better life, and you have clearly fought for that. But would you have any advice for those that are going through a similar experience?
Wow, that is a good one. And I do. It's part of why I do the content that I do. Is I'm starting to make it out to the other end, and no sense in holding that knowledge to myself. Same reason I'm teaching people with the VTubing. I spent 4 months studying VTubing. Why hold that to my chest? I think one of the strongest things is a statement I actually said earlier was, just when you think you lost everything, you still have your future. That phrase, that mantra, has prevented me from ever having dark enough thoughts from, you know, ending. So that thought has never really crossed my mind more than like a flash before. And endurance is a good character trait, but it's okay to let your guard down. It's okay to cry. You should be emotional. You should let these other sides of you be there because otherwise you're just holding back another thing. And as hard as things will get for you, you need to try to find the things you do have control of and make those parts simpler for yourself. So, for example, I'll just talk about your emotional level. Well, if everything around you feels like you have no control, you at least have some control over your emotions. Don't put a tourniquet on it. No, instead, do the opposite. Let it all out. Try to talk to people. I think that a very important message I always say is reach out. Try something new. Could be a community. It could be just when you're walking through the park and you see someone alone, they look like they're upset, talk to them. Maybe you look on some forums, go to the library, look for a club. You, as trapped as you feel like you can be, it's a new perspective that will suddenly make you realize there's so many good things out there. And who knows, someone I don't know, maybe you join a club finally. Someone in that club might be like, hey, here's a phone number you can call that you can check because the situation you're in is actually illegal from this peer, or like you're feeling ways you have the suicide prevention hotline, or like those sort of things. Like people don't realize there's a lot of tools out there. Changing your perspective and finding more people that can be genuinely accepting, they might be able to offer you more tools as well. That's not to say use them, of course. Yeah, I mean using the people, use the tools given, of course. Um, if you try something new and you don't like it, that's also good because you learned more about yourself. You develop. Fun fact: people still, their eyes pop out of their head when I say this. I tried trucking for half a year, full 18-wheeler Class A tractor trailer. I flippin' hated it. I absolutely hated it. But you know what? For 6 months, I traveled the country without seeing a dang thing, as interstates. And it did teach me some stuff, and I didn't like it, but now I can say, I now know like it and a lot of things around it are things now I understand more about. I understand the world more. Um, do try to get out a little bit. It's hard to. And I want to say a mantra. I want to say one phrase that helped me a lot too, because a lot of folks, seriously, a massive amount of folks, myself included, one of their biggest hangups in trying new things or growing or becoming a better person is because they're worried about how their friends or their peers might view them, or that they might do something that'll upset them, right? I'm sure maybe you've been on that situation too, like where you just don't want to do something because you're worried someone might be thinking differently of you.
Yes,
Always want to appease people.
Yes, yes.
See, that was actually one of the things that I sat down for a long time. When I made this character and I was going into this brand, my big point that I hammered home during debut was the fastest way that you get popular is by being controversial. And
Yes.
I wanted to be controversy's controversial streamer. But I realized that if I delve into this world, it harms myself, it harms the people around me, and I had a hard time wrestling with that. And just recently, I've been able to come back around and make it work for me. So we're all good on that front. And, nobody's mad, and we're all good.
Exactly, and that circles it to the phrase, my mantra, which was, and there's a bit to this, but I wrote this on a piece of paper. I hung this on my wall. I said this to myself every morning for a year straight. And this helped me get over my fear and anxiety of being more of myself and not worrying about other people, like what they think of me, which is I am completely independent of the good or the bad opinions and thoughts of others. It was that was a huge one for me because I was so worked up all the time about appeasing everybody and worrying about walking on eggshells. Am I going to do the wrong thing? But being independent of the good or the bad, the positive or negative opinions of people, it really does it because you are. Because what is a thought or an opinion? It's just an imaginary thing. Like, sure, it's upstairs in somebody's head. Isn't every imaginary thing? But a thought or an opinion someone has over you, it is literally invisible. It doesn't actually physically exist. It cannot hurt you. And once you get that power in yourself and realization of, oh my gosh, my whole life I'm actually being afraid of an invisible, intangible thing. I'm walking on eggshells around something that literally doesn't exist. Once that really sinks in, which it'll take a while. That's why I made it a mantra. I said it to myself for many, many weeks, months even. But once that really set in, it was like that mind-blown meme. It was just like, oh my gosh, Yomi, the way you're living your life, like you need to stop. You need to like focus and love yourself before loving another. And yeah, that was honestly one of the big things in my life to self, I don't want to use the word self-medicate, but self-regulate. And I want to make sure that's a message people pick up too.
Mm-hmm. In a more crass way, fuck them haters.
Is fuck haters. Yeah. Whatever you are, it's like LGBTQIA plus, be you. Yeah, try saying that 5 times fast. I know it. Like just be whatever you are. Don't worry about the opinions of others like that. It's all right. Sorry, very very heavy response. I apologize.
No, that's
I don't apologize. You know what?
Yeah,
no, right there. See, there we go. See, little old Yomi just popped up right there. No, I'm not apologizing for that. That's exactly the person I used to be. Exactly the person I used to be. I'm trying to stop that. Still creeps once in a while. Yeah.
You know what? That sentence had too many syllables, and I don't apologize. It's fine. I'm kidding. I was gonna say that heavy topics are something that I love is a hard word to say on this show, but I enjoy it because I enjoy the fact that I've been able to create a space where people can freely talk about things that have been bothering them, with no judgment on my end. And my favorite interviews are the ones. Oh,
I just want to add real quick. You have me on your stream. How on earth is the word love going to be hard on your stream when I'm here? Because you got to use that real fast, sister.
Well, I mean, like, listen, some people have cried and full tears, and I love those moments because, like, it doesn't matter to me. I will it's full silence. We let them cry it out. They do their thing. They feel better. Then they continue the interview. Obviously, if they had any issues, they would let me know. But those are my favorite moments because I feel a connection with my guest and I care a lot about them. I research people quite intensely before I let anybody on the show. Oh yes, I do.
Okay, what weird stuff did you find on me? Actually, I do want to say that is, twice in this already, I almost got brought to tears. So congratulations.
And that's not to say that I'm like cry now, cry for my views. No, it's I'm happy that I am.
Of course.
I may be a villain, but I ain't evil.
My favorites. My viewers know I like the redeemable villains, the ones who are like not actually that good at being a villain.
Actually, yes, with Weed Lord opening up the question there, since we already did have our break, I thought it would be fine if we just moved right into the question segment. So
Sure. It is three. The answer is 3.1415926.535. Yeah, I always know the first 10 digits.
there you go. Pi has been solved. That's it, everybody. Let's have a good night.
Nah, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Could you help me be a goober?
Weedlord wanted to know what inspired you to create Yomi and VTubing as a whole.
Yeah, so it is a. We briefly touched on it, but a lot. Well, like I said, Yomi as a design was made by my friend Helm Chan, but like making a design into Yomi is definitely its own other thing. And while it did start off in 2017 as just like a, ooh, this is a really good character, it is like both waifu and also like things I like, but also like things I want to be. It started as that. But like the more and more I looked at that design and had all my other ones, I was like, actually, this one I keep gravitating towards. I want to do more with. And it was when I started doing like in the 2017 and 18 and 19, before VTubing. I would do role plays with because I love text-based role plays and tabletop role plays. And it's not to say she was the only character I used. I have literally hundreds of characters. In fact, I didn't get to use Yomi enough, if honestly. But when I really went into the idea of VTubing, which was at the beginning of this year, I knew immediately that Yomi was the one to use because she is the one that I am the most connected to. She is the one I felt like the most I could embody without being anybody but myself still. If I have a lot of characters, like I said. Any of the other ones would have been me playing a character. And that's not what I wanted to do. Like VTubing has that 10% of the character. Like Gargura, she still is the shark. She still is the Atlantean. She still has her moment. But she is also a female Bart Simpson gremlin who goes, she is still like her. That is the other 90% is still her. And that's what I did with Yomi. Is like I just want like that 10% to be which is the lore and the stuff around it, but you need to be able to be yourself behind that character. So yeah, at the start of 2000, the 2020, the start of this year, when I decided to do the VTubing, it was a no-brainer to use Yomi. And it was because at the start of this year, I really had hit rock bottom. I really was so stressed and struggling that, well, you know how I said I never had the mindset of game ending myself. I never had that feeling because I always had that mantra. I always had things to keep me going, right? And that's not the whole truth. It was at December and January. Actually, I can tell you exactly when. It was Christmas. It was at Christmas because Christmas is a very sad holiday for me. I never got to celebrate Christmas. My parents were the types who I was born as a revenge baby. I was not born out of love. I was utter. I was locked in closets most of the time. I was starved many a times. Like in those films when you hear those sad stories, like how Harry Potter was or something like that. Those films have basis. There are a lot of kids who go through that. There are a lot of kids who go through that, and I was one of them. And anyway, Christmas, I never celebrated Christmas. Never had the chance to until just these most couple of recent years. I have some good friends, but I was at a very low point. And when that Christmas came, and I didn't actually have any friends around for it, I did hit my lowest point. I did for my first time ever, though briefly, think about ending it. And when that happened, I had to stop everything because I wore that like a badge of honor before that I never had that thought. Because people, my friends would always say like to have gone through all the things you've gone through and still be pushing yourself and still like be confident and you have the worst luck, Yomi, but you're still doing it. Like we're so proud you never resorted to drugs or violence or you never been you basically straight, straight edge. Never had any issues. And then to have that moment where I can't wear that badge anymore because oh my god, I thought about killing myself that day. I knew I had to do something. I knew something had to change. So after a couple days, and I thought about like what I would enjoy doing, where I could put my creative outlets out, and it came to trying this out. This was maybe this could be where I could be myself. This could possibly be where I could find that happiness, and I did. I'm happier now than I've ever actually been. I am finding joy. I'm making more friends than ever. Just yesterday, I'm in a room of like 20 people watching a movie, and we're all laughing. We're having fun, and I'm having people saying that I matter, that I'm an inspiration. It's not. I'm not here for that, but the fact that I am get. I'm here to just try to find a purpose for myself, but to get so much more. I do realize I matter now. I want to spread that to others, and that is where it began. That is, I guess the whole summary was to just give myself a purpose, find a reason to love myself again, and now that I do, to spread that love to others, especially because I've been there.
Yes,
And I
yes.
feel like if there's anyone qualified, thank you, to talk about these kind of things, who do you want to have try to cheer you up when you're in a bad spot? Someone who's paid a handsome salary and studied on it, or someone who's actually lived it? So, well, hey, you wanted a little bit of teariness. There, I think is the best way to summarize that, is to give myself meaning.
Thank you for sharing.
Sorry, I'm grabbing. You're welcome.
Get that hydrated.
You're more than welcome.
Drink the water. Quench those dry lips.
Just grabbing a tissue real quick. Fortunately, there's always one nearby.
Mm-hmm. Now, I do have a bit of a uplifting question for you. PK likes to ask these questions. What is your favorite ice cream flavor?
I thought you were gonna ask my favorite alcohol. My favorite ice cream.
We'll get there.
Shuckles. Joke's on you. The answer is yes. No, I'm kidding. My current favorite one I've been going back and forth to all the time. This is gonna sound like a little silly. It's called oatmeal cream pie, and it's a very sweet vanilla ice cream, but it's got those oatmeal cream pie sandwiches.
Mm-hmm.
It's got the pieces of that in it, not just the like the texture of the outside. It actually has like more creamy pieces in the middle, and I am very texture driven with my food. So, silly example, here's an ice cream. It's cotton candy ice cream. Oh, that sounds amazing. I love cotton candy. This is going to be my favorite flavor, but it's just the ice cream. There was nothing to change it up. But because the oatmeal cream pie has these nuggets and like pieces, and it's like it's a party constantly changing. Texture is massive for me when it comes to food. If I don't like the texture of something, it's why a lot of people don't like tomatoes, but they love tomato sauce, because that wet, moist, slimy crunch that you get when biting into a tomato, that's actually very unnerving for a lot of people, as compared to tomato sauce is just, it's a sauce. Yeah, I had to say the M word.
Don't mind me, just dying over here.
Good. I've killed the villain. I'm the hero. Wait, I'm not supposed to do any more of that.
My goodness.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite right now. My favorite changes a lot. It's like whatever is the flavor of the month,
Yes.
There's a current one that is a caramel brownie, and it actually has brownie pieces in it and caramel swirls. Same thing, different texture. It's got brownie pieces, and I am a slut for caramel. So, wow, I just said that word just so casually. Holy moly!
Oh, don't worry. See, my chat knows me as many words, such as cookie whore. I have a sweet mouth as opposed to a sweet tooth, and a slut for a good panna cotta.
Ooh. Oh.
It's the
That make me wondering if the inside of your mouth actually has something related to the green for a taste. Anyway.
It's
please.
watermelon toffee.
Ooh, me likey. So rebound that back, Blueberry, which is also my nickname.
Oh, I was about to say
Yeah, one of the things.
I was about to say something real bad.
No. One of the things that was put on my throne was a 1 pound bag of blueberry jelly beans, and I don't eat a lot of them because it's very chewy and that stops you from talking. So I kind of just like sounds really this one's really bye, but I suck on the jelly beans. I suck on the beans. No, but it was a fun little like, hey, Yomi, blueberry. Here's a big of blueberry jelly beans. It's like, this is actually great. I appreciate it. Still going through it, in fact. Bean sucker. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Did I lose my
set
spot?
myself up for a lot of these things. Oh, you're okay.
How dare!
Well, while you're regaining your spot,
we're good.
You're fine. I seem to be set up for a lot of these kind of jokes, and I kind of love it, honestly. I like being the one who's like, the naive, innocent one who's constantly teased and embarrassed. I love that. That's me. I love that.
You love setting yourself up for your own downfall.
Yeah. Yeah, as long as it's in good fun, everyone's getting a laugh, and I don't even set myself up intentionally. It just seems to happen. We don't even want to go on the whole spread my Pokeballs statement out.
God, what's the worst one I've said? Oh, I remember the worst one I've said.
Oh, here we go.
I also had a Pokemon stream where I was theorizing, a potential tattoo idea that I could have. And for whatever reason,
Ooh.
I spoke automatically. I swear to you, I did not conjure these words in my head. I said the words, yeah, I'd probably get a tramp stamp that says, don't lick, and it points down.
Oh my good golly god. Am I allowed to post links, by the way?
Oh, yeah. Post them to me, specifically, I should say.
Okay. For people who are wondering about the whole spreading the balls thing, this is actually a video that I made that I thought people, if they want to later, they can check it out. There we go. Yeah, if folks want to, because when that happened, I hit the marker button and turned it into a clip, because why wouldn't you? Which, fun fact for all you people who are new VTubers, you can shortcut marker, and that way you can pick up your best moments very easily.
Mm-hmm. Double fun fact, in OBS, they have a thing called replay buffer. Oh goodness, my camera's dying here. Replay buffer.
I know!
And if you have it set up, you could set it up to a certain amount of time, 1 minute, 2 minutes if you want to. And then if you push a button, it will save a video from that much time prior for you.
I like your words there, Mr. Magic Man!
Don't worry, this is free knowledge coming from me. I'll be sure to run you through it at the bare minimum. So
certainly, you can ask Sane Cisco there. I'm not just here to interview and dip. I try to make friends, and Sane is someone I did an interview with, and I love them to death. They're very lovely friend. So, got you in my pocket. That could have sounded better.
Okay. Luminous asked, have you tried out any other mods since finishing A Hat in Time?
Ooh, so I'm very new to modding. That is one big thing. Aw, Sane.
Thank you, Sane.
In my pocket. Aw. I'm very new to modding. I'm not the most technologically savvy. But we're learning. That's also something I love with VTubing. I'm learning so many things. I never even been in social media until this year. Like, my Twitter account says February for a reason of this year. So modding I'm new with. I did my very first mod with Digimon Cyber Sleuth. That was personal. That was actually in February when I was starting to set things up. and I was practicing streaming with just a couple of my friends. We would just like get around and have ice cream, and I'd play Cyber Sleuth, and I would stream it. But people were like, "Oh, it doesn't have this Digimon. It doesn't have this Digimon." And we looked it up. I was like, "Hey, you can mod the Digimon in it." And it was very simple. Okay, actually, it wasn't that simple. There was a bit to do it, but we did that, and that was a blast. But I was like, I want to do more with this. And the game World of Horror, my friend Helm-chan made a. They said it was super easy, and they have zero modding experience themselves. They said they just had like just make a file, upload kind of thing. They made a mod of me in World of Horror, and I loved it to death. It was heckin' amazing. And that was kind of my first push of, wait, I should mod myself in more games. So we did Hat in Time, and that fortunately was very easy because that just required the Steam Workshop.
Mhm.
And now we're doing Pokemon, and that was, I'm gonna be frank, that was hell. I am still like, ugh. Oh, that was so hard to do. But we got it done. And most importantly, as we did, I did find someone who could help me. I reached out to communities, a modding community, and someone there helped me. But here's one other thing I really want to add, because I want to give appreciation where it matters. Are you familiar with the name Aki, or Orange is Borange?
I am. Yes.
If ah, well, they have been a lovely friend. They actually did a very big donation and helped supply my 3DO for ASMR. But Aki was the one who I originally was seeing getting a lot of modding done, and Aki is one of the inspirations for me. I have a lot of people who inspire me, but Aki was one who inspired be more creative, because VTubing is another avenue. The next, I think what they said, and I actually have a good belief in this, which is one of the next big steps for VTubing is going to be the VTubers models in games more.
Mhm.
I think that's the next big step, and I do agree with that, and I love doing that. So as much as I can, I'm gonna try getting myself modded in as many games as I can. Super Mario World is my next one on the block. I want to replace Mario with a Yomi, and the yellow coat, the yellow cape. It's gonna be a lab coat. Yeah.
Very excited for that.
You really? Yeah, it's gonna be a while, but yes.
Okay.
In fact, Aki suggested my next game. They're gonna do Mother.
Ooh, yes, very very good series. I have not played it myself, but it's on the bucket list pretty much.
Yes.
Let's see. Second, go
ahead while you're looking. VTubing has helped me play more games. I think that's another just thing to add while you're looking. Fill the air.
Yeah, that. Oh my god, I do not play games as much as I used to. As a kid, yes, I played a ton of games every single day, but creating content has given me the excuse to play video games all the time.
Yes, that's exactly it. I have this bad habit where if it's not considered work, I can't sit and do it. But now that gaming is a part of VTubing, and I don't consider VTubing work, but it is kind of becoming quote unquote occupation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, playing games is now
Torin Tabaxi asked, Yomi, knowing that you play lots of Pathfinder and D&D, how much of a dice goblin are you?
Oh boy, so
there they are.
Yes, right there within reach, a 2-pound bag, not including the metal dice, and I have a custom-made dice tray, which actually has the Fate Grand Order Chaldea symbol on it. Yes. I got that made on Etsy about 5 years ago, and yeah, I haven't bought many new ones as of recently because I'm mostly DMing, and as the DM, you don't even get to see the dice.
Yep.
So, That and as a player, I never get to be in games for too long because I'm not shitting on any DMs, but I tend to have people like, I want to try DMing. DMing I didn't really enjoy. So we get to like level 3 or so, and that's it. And you don't really need a lot of dice at level 3, so.
You're like, aw, damn, like I could have used 8d6 on this fireball at 2 more levels.
Yeah. It's this unfortunate thing where I'm gonna go on a tiny tangent. I know we've been at this for a while. Thank you. A lot of people who try to DM and have me in their games, they think, well, Yomi, you're like a professional at this. And I'm honored that they say that. But they say, oh, we gotta meet like your standard. We gotta meet your quality. It's like, no! I just want to play a game. Don't try to appease me strictly. It's this thing of like, I'm not trying to say, oh, I'm super good at it. No. It's this just thing where people think because I'm as like a pretty good DM, they think they have to be a really, really amazing DM themselves. And then they get intimidated. Or I've had people say, I don't want to have you in my game because I don't think I'm going to meet your standard. And I'm like, bitch, my only standard is that I got to roll dice and be a character. What? And as soon as they do let me in the game, like they realize, oh, wow, it's worked up about nothing. Because I don't like care how good or bad it is. I just want to play a game. But unfortunately, it's a big hurdle in the beginning and it stinks. I already have people saying that in collabing too. I have people who say, I want to collab with you, but I'm nowhere near as good as you. It's like, no. See, the same effect. That's not what we want. We just want to have fun. We're just here to have fun. Like, I'm not putting myself on that pedestal. You are.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually pretty hurtful.
You're talking also to a former Forever DM. The curse.
You know the feeling.
I do. So I used to DM a campaign for a year straight. I had my thing. I was doing it. Whenever a new one would pop up, I'd come in as a player, and it would end almost as soon as it started. And there I was again, DMing for the session. And yes, now I've passed it on to Silver. So I love you.
I'll just say this really quickly. I do plan to do D&D games eventually on stream, and I'll be inviting fellow VTubers. So, hey, if things work out time-wise.
Yes, very much so. I'm always down for more D&D. To play, not DM.
Yeah, we'll see as it all goes. DMing I put a lot of work into, and because I'm still in the growing phase, I'm still getting the assets together after 2 months. I know it looks like I got my stuff together, and I do, but it's because I'm like 12 hours a day putting stuff together. Once I don't have to spend 12 hours a day putting stuff together, then I can start focusing on the next, project, like the hand cam science stuff or D&D stuff.
Perfect. All right, Yomi.
Yeah.
I have 3 more important questions for you, and I realize that I forgot to ask you these at the break.
Sure.
So I apologize if you don't have enough time to think about this. We'll give you a second.
Oh, you're fine. I could go for another hour if you let me.
Well, I usually ask these far, far in advance, at the bare minimum before the interview starts.
Interesting.
First off, that bar behind you, it has a lot of, alcohol that many other people have suggested over the course of the last few interviews. If you could have any alcohol you wanted back there, what would it be? And if it was your specialty, what would its name be?
Well, this is a fun one. So, in truth, Yomi doesn't drink. But, before you say, aw, shucks, Yomi is very educated on that sort of thing. She had been taught how to serve a few drinks before, and she, as an alchemist, know how to stir a couple things up. And, I am always a designated driver, so I'm used to being around a lot of alcohol. Mine would be a blueberry wine slush. It's colder, has that blueberry punch. It's a bit of an adult beverage still, but also makes me feel like a kid because it's like a Slurpee. But, of course, blueberry is my nickname, and there's that sweet, tart touch it'll have, which, that sweetness and tart, that's always a focus blaster. as a scientist, we need to find ways of snapping ourselves back to a focus right away. So, I think a blueberry wine slush, yeah. That has that fun feel that I would be able to give off while perking you right up with that sweet taste.
Okay. And would you have a specialty name for it that the barkeeper could call upon if you... Well, you could call upon the barkeeper for it.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. The mad scientist swirl. Absolutely. Because it is a bit of a swirling slush. No, the mad scientist slush. There you go. Yeah, because it's a slush. Mad scientist slush. There you go. Oh, you drink it. You can drink anything you want. I mean, wait. Yeah, go for it.
Okay. My second question for you, and my most popular,
Please.
is if you could ask the next interviewee anything, and you don't know who they are, what would you like to ask them?
Oh, that's a good one. I think I know right away. Because of our earlier discussion, because I am trying my best to inspire people who feel like they're at low points of their life. I genuinely want to pull people out of difficult situations, find ways to cheer them up, find what they did. Outside, because there are people who just, they say they discover my stream and I've helped them a lot, and I'm glad. But I also believe we all have the power within ourselves. I'm not just going to be the answer. I'm going to just be the uplifter and give you the tools, and it's up to you to do it. So my question for the next interviewee: what was your lowest point in life, and what did you do to recover from it, and what did you learn from it? Yeah, a heavy one, if that's okay.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I love the heavier questions because it can be a bit of a shocker of an opener, but it is perfect to start a stream off with.
I'm glad. I can't wait to watch someone suffer from it. I mean, answer honestly from it.
To be fair, and I didn't plan this out, it is another blue VTuber, so...
Yippee! I'm very happy for that. Thank you.
My final question for
thanks,
you.
guys.
Who would you like to rate?
Okay, my final answer. I can think of two people. So here's what I do, and here's even my good little bit of advice is when I'm thinking about rating somebody, or when we're getting to the ending of our stream, I will open my Twitch, and I will look at who's online, and I will then be like, you, and you, click, click, click. So I just open up 3 tabs, and one of them is doing a D&D game. So I'm like, okay, that's probably not the best one. So I just then close that tab. And then I look at the next one and the next one. I also do this while keeping in mind, who I haven't rated in a while, because I want to give everybody our love. I even have a particular raid message that I use, which is to let people know. It's literally lab raid, blank name, are loved and appreciated, or you matter in this world, or something encouraging like that. And, it's not only are they being rated by a bunch of people, but they're being told, wow, actually really needed that today. Because I've rated some streamers where they would start crying from that, or they you have no idea how much that means. Anyway, kind of rambling a little bit, but, raid is a big thing. Sometimes it's good to give a fun an important message like that.
Indeed.
I know who we're gonna raid. So while I have rated them not that long ago, they're a very dear and near friend of mine, and they are the person who even said they would have stopped streaming if it wasn't for me. And that is my friend Hazy. I'm going to type their name right here. It's just that. Whoopsie. One second. Sorry, I may have. Here we go. Here is their name, and they're a good friend of mine. They're someone that I met literally in my first, couple weeks when I was starting on social media, Um, I've just been hanging out with them since, and I've been watching them grow, and I'm really, really proud of them. And I hope that they can go further with it. Absolutely. Saying using their emotes. Yeah, and that's the big thing too. A lot of people are getting friends together. Like I've I've had I've had people say like, yeah, we met this person, this person, this person because of you, Yomi. I'm like, I'm not saying to take credit. That's the big thing. I'm not trying to like inflate my ego or anything, but it's just it's amazing to realize, just be nice and look out for people. And the VTubing community actually seems to be one of the few places where that actually is working to make me happy and benefit other people. And it's incredible.
Yeah. I will say my face tracking died.
That is fine. We are in Mass Effect Andromeda. Sorry, my face is tired. Understandable.
Yeah, I've been frozen, completely stunned.
No. Well, may I, before we raid, may I give a little gratitude?
Oh yes, of course. We have the ceremonies that we always like to go through. So first off, I would like to thank you, Yomi, for joining me here tonight while my face is frozen. You have been a wonderful guest, and I love just talking. Okay, fine, I won't move my hands. Sorry, Buffy. Being able to talk and hold a conversation that can be bounced off of for a very long time is so much fun.
Yeah, I can go long. I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry.
Yeah, no sorries. No more sorries. I have a question.
Yeah.
You're streaming tomorrow.
Please.
What time will you be streaming?
I will be. We're going to go back to our Pokemon Nuzlocke. That is Nuzlocke when I'm custom in it, by the way. 5 p.m. EST, which is the same time of the day that we started this interview. 2 PST for you.
Perfect. Yeah, we'll do this as my my replacement.
That's fine. That is fine. The yeah, that's with that. Was there anything else you wanted to
ask? Brain got a little bit of a brain fart.
That's okay. I had a list of people I was going to give thank you in a moment.
If you haven't followed Yomi already, she has been a wonderful guest. So please make sure that you go ahead and follow her now, or I will defeat you in combat. Aww. You will not win.
Thank you.
All right, and Yomi,
you made me cry a second time.
You wanted to leave us off on a good note?
Yeah, so I got a lot of people I just want to give a thank you to. I want to thank my mods, Chris, Hezi, and Hale. I want to also thank a lot of fellow VTubers that I've gotten to know, like Hazy, my friend Helmchan, Aki that I mentioned, Saint Cisco, Danny, Roko, the best clown that holds the worst parties, Kijit, Fiamma Rosado, Arsenia, Diablo Boo, ID, hello, Layshroom, Mini Molly, Liberty, you, of course, Iris, Wispy the Witch, see you there too, dear. You're gonna do some great things, I can tell you for sure. My friend Maple, Darla Doodles, Manny the Manatee, Vinrash, Snow Shoryugi. Who am I forgetting? Morgie, they're on as well, but I think they're actually in the collab thing as well. Let me go to Hazy's. Rika, Dame Rika, Useless. That's Yuusles. Ilaria, who we saw earlier. Dusa, Zelon, Rinla, Jake the Genie. Oh, Cabal, and that's a big name. And some ASM artists as well. I've really got into that recently, thanks to Grace and Zombie, Charlotte, Gentle GF, Bear Magoo, Iris, Noodle Wolf, and I just said like 50 people. There we go.
There you go.
Now my face is tired.
We filled the slot, so let's go.
Yeah, I just really meant it. And thank you again for letting me be here. This will not be the last that you see of this silly face. I'll be supporting you as much as I can, just as you have been so supportive of me.
Thank you. I'll leave you off with my Star Fox little profile picture here. This Friday, I will be interviewing our final guest for the month. I'm not telling you who it is, unless you're subscribed and you're in the Discord, which you should join. You get to see in advance who the next one will be before I announce them. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
If you want to cheat,
I'm looking forward to that. I will do my best 13.
You can cheat if you want to. It's up to you. And with that,
I might just do that.
We will see you all later.
I might just do that. Yeah, we're gonna go a raid in a moment, folks. Stick around.
Boom, bam. Did I get it? No, I misspelled the name.
Oh, that's okay. If you need a little help with that one, I can. You want me to type the raid message?
Yeah, you can type out the raid message, and yeah, the way that you would do it, or I also have mine as well.
Yes.
Time it up.
So, what I like to do, I'm gonna type this. It's a, yeah, and we can use, folks, you can use whatever emotes you feel appropriate if you don't have Iris's or mine. But that'll be the raid message if that's okay. It's a Frog Lab raid. Let's go.
There you go. All right, everybody.
Thank you again so much.
You have a wonderful night. Welcome to my favorite segment of the entire show, where we are in the ending screen, but everybody can still hear us. I don't know why I do this.
Remember, folks,
tradition.
Love, laugh, and learn. I appreciate you all.
And
oh my goodness.
Steal from your local. No, don't do that. Never mind. Take it back.
Hey, wait, hold on. I gotta get that antidote. Oh my god, I gotta go back and try to make an antidote. You son of a gun.
Yep, well, and now that we're on this screen, it's done and over with. We can't go back.
Oh no. The Dunzos. It was so fun. Thank you all. I'm getting teary again. Raid time, let's go!
And there we are.